Hello, everyone. Time for another MUTV group chat. How you doing today? Glad you could join us. The gang of four are here again. David May, Wes Brown, Danny Webber, Ben Thornley. Very different weather depending on where you are in the country by the look of things. Again, very suspiciously, where Ben is, it is perfect weather and blue skies. How do we explain this? This definitely isn't up here. Looking good there, Ben?
Yeah, it's a lot nicer here today. No wind, so pleasant to sit outside.
Very nice. Where is he, Maisie? It's very suspicious, isn't it? Very suspicious.
I don't know. Coley had the Golden Gate Bridge in his background the other day.
Yes.
Ben's just got one of them in.
Very suspicious. Definitely isn't so.
Based
I
up.
wouldn't say that. Well, listen, plenty of reaction to yesterday's show when Pally was on. So thank you for that. Let's just go through some of your reaction on social media, email as well. So this one, thank you for involving a great Gary Pallister. Stuart, delighted to see him and hear him as well. He's my hero. Love Pally. Best regards to all of the lads. This one from Mikey. Thanks for the shows. Enjoying everyone. Look forward to every show every day. Thanks for doing during these times. I love United. Always will. Thanks to all on the show. Okay, this one from M Hawks. Evening, lads. Great to see you all. Be reminded of the fantastic memories. Keep safe and well. Thank you for that one. Now, Paul says, lads, one thing I've not heard mentioned in the UK, so obviously assuming you're not in the UK, is confining teams and officials away from the general population. The league is doing this in Australia. Why can't UK leagues do the same thing? Love the show with my Weetabix every morning. So I reckon you probably are in Australia. So we might just mention it. We'll chat to the lads in a moment about that as a possible proposal. This one from Kino, and I'm fairly certain it isn't him. I've just listened to all these group chat videos alongside the United podcast episodes in the space of just 2 weeks. Fair to say, David May is basically my uncle now. That's a big ask, May, isn't it? That's a big ask, isn't it? Listen to all of these shows and the podcast.
That is a big ask. Yeah, that's funny. If I was that.
Yeah.
Not doing
On Facebook, Liam on Facebook, and this is talking about the Cantona final yesterday. I was 11 years old. It was my first trip to Wembley. I was sat in the fourth row during the lap of honour. I threw my scarf on the pitch. Pally picked it up, and he was interviewed on TV after wearing my scarf. That did resonate with a lot of people, that all their chat about that game. Such a famous moment. On email, this one. Hi, Stuart and the guys. Danny Webber is a legend of a guy and takes your show to another level. Danny is to MUTV what Gary Neville is to Sky. #1. Best wishes all from a Mr. Webber, is it? No, from Mark Wiles. Danny, how do we explain that? I'm suspicious about that.
My brother, that is. That's who it is.
Very nice. This one from Graham in Warrington. Enjoyed Gary Pallister on the group chat. He mentioned Brian McClare. Any chance of getting Chalky in the show? Very underrated for United in the glory days of the 80s and 90s. Good idea. We'll try and sort that out. So thank you.
There's no more, Stu?
Say again, mate.
No more emails?
Oh, the way there was a long email as well. I won't read it out. It's kind of self-regarding stuff.
Why am I not reading that one out?
It was a long email, and it said how great everyone is on. It said how great everyone is, apart from me, on this. So we appreciate it. So thanks for that email. We really appreciate it. MUTV at Man.
We love you.
MUTV at manunited.co.uk on email. You can get in touch via the social media channels as well. But before we bring on our guest, guys, we did mention yesterday about the Premier League meeting that happened. And the big thing that came out of it is the Premier League are going to speak to the government and the police to see if teams can play home and away as normal, rather than use neutral grounds. Because I think it's not just the bottom six. I think pretty much everybody didn't want to play on neutral grounds. They're going to try and get the police, the government to accept that teams play home and away as normal. Guys, we'd prefer that, wouldn't we? Because, nobody wants to play on neutral venues.
Yeah, Stu, I think that'd be better for everyone. Obviously, you still don't want the crowd gathering outside the grounds, but I don't think there can be any argument then, and advantages anywhere with neutral grounds. So it'd be much easier if that could be done, if it could be sorted out, and then that sort of question is out the window, whether there's advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, I think that is important. They did say there was a strong collective will to complete the season, but there was some discussion of curtailment of the season if it was necessary. But Ben, I'll come to you on this one. It does look as though they are trying to make it come back in June, and hopefully home and away rather than neutral territory.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way by what came out of the meeting yesterday and the reports you hear this morning that, that it won't be just null and voided. Obviously, there's still going to be question marks as to how they're going to do it, even if they abolish the neutral ground situation. It's a case of, how do they isolate the teams and obviously the travel as well. I would obviously, like everybody else, I would love to see the resurrection of football in June, but unless they can get everything 100% right, there are so many things to consider just outside of that that I wouldn't want to be the one that makes the decision as much as I'd love to see it come back.
Yeah, amazing. They are going to finish the season, they say. It doesn't really matter. They are dedicated to finishing the season. It might not be next month, but they are dedicated to actually getting it done at some point.
Yeah, as Ben just said there, as long as everything's safe, then fine. But the amount of stuff that's got to go on behind closed doors as well, as the lad from Australia mentioned, about keeping teams away from each other and hotels and where do the lads stay. There's so much work to be done from now till probably the 1st of June, if that's the way it's going to be. But I don't know. I think it's still very, very difficult to do. But we'll just have to wait and see, Paul.
I think they'll have a careful look. Sorry, Stuart. Just saying. I think the FA will have a careful look at the repercussions of what happens in Germany this weekend.
Yes. Yeah. I'm saying, Dan, as well, that possibility that the chap who emailed about teams having to stay together for this block of time it takes to finish the season in a hotel or whatever, like a pre-season tour or something. Is that a possibility where everyone has to stay together?
Well, I think so. For those who consent, who are happy to stay away from the families for it's like a month, probably a month. You could conclude it in a month if that was the case. I think the hardest part is obviously the games are going to be behind closed doors. We know that, but it's like PSG played just before when everything was on lockdown and loads of fans gathered outside. And I think that's a problem. Even if it is behind closed doors, you're going to get people who go against the rules. I think we should all just have should have Zoom screens inside the stadium. So we have all the fans sit there and actually watch the game. The club are responsible because they're fans. If you want to log in, are logging in from home. And the players get to see that there are thousands of people actually watching and the sound can be beamed through and interactive. At least there's a little bit of responsibility and it gives the players a feeling. Because Ben, you said, didn't you, and Stu, when you were in Lask, that there was zero sort of atmosphere in the stadium. So, maybe that's a way that they could bridge the gap a little bit during the time to keep everybody at home.
How do you stop that when Liverpool, because let's be honest, Liverpool are going to win the title. When they win the title, there are going to be people who want to be at Anfield, outside Anfield. How do you stop that happening?
You can't. You can't. That's the problem, Stu. I don't know how many will turn out. 100,000, 200,000 Liverpool fans mixing together. It's going to be so hard to police. It really will. Yeah.
So still lots of questions. I think Premier League captains might be meeting with the Premier League today. So every day something else develops. Still a lot of questions need to be answered, and we'll continue to chat about it on this show. But listen, let's bring on our guest today, shall we? An absolute legend as a player for Manchester United. Now he dedicates his life to helping the homeless. The great Lou Macari joins us from his own centre, the Macari Centre, down in Stoke. Lou, how are you? Great to see you.
Thanks, Stuart, lads. Good morning.
Okay, Lou.
The sun's shining in Stoke, by the way, Stuart.
No way.
Yeah, Costa del Stoke.
No way. Don't believe it. Well, difficult times for everyone, obviously, at the moment, but it must be incredibly difficult with the guys you look after as well.
Well, we're trying to move at the moment, Stuart, from the small building we're into a bigger building. And we're in the process of doing that, and we've been moving furniture across to where there's my phone.
Is that your phone, Lou? This is like having Paddy on the programme. I'll let you answer it, mate.
Sorry,
you can turn it off.
Danny.
Where is it?
We're trying to move at the moment, Stuart, and we've got a new home, which is, funny enough, is a massive warehouse, size of a football pitch almost.
Really?
So we've got 48 people in here at the moment, so those 48 will be moving. And we've had great support from everyone in Stoke and further afield. League managers, which I'm a member of, have donated 48 televisions, because we've got 48 people, so they've all got an LG television for themselves. We bought 48 pods. Do I need to explain what the pod is to you, Stuart? It's just, I don't know.
Like a glamping sort of.
Glamping, whatever they call it. A little, more or less a little house of their own. That's probably the best way to describe it. And for the 48 people we've got, it's probably the first time in their life they've had something of their own. The backgrounds they've come from and how they've come to the Macari Centre is probably a background of always been on the streets and never really having anything. So for once now they've got their own little place to look after, keep it nice and tidy, keep it clean. They've got a television, which helps as well. And we hope to improve and try to keep improving the life that they're leading. And I do think the individual building, if we want to call it a building, gives them a good start. It's that independence that they need.
Where is it, Lou? Is it nearby, or?
It's only about 500 or 600 yards from where we are at the moment, Stuart. So we're actually carrying the furniture through the streets of Stoke and into the warehouse, and lots of horns being tooted at the moment when I'm carrying a bed along or a mattress along. So it's all good stuff, and hope to be in there in probably about a month's time. And no doubt we'll have MUTV down and at the opening ceremony, and we're looking forward to it.
And are you moving because of the current situation and social distancing and all that, or was it going to happen anyway?
It was going to happen anyway, but it's been speeded up by the situation that we're in at this moment in time. We've got 48 here, all living very close to one another, so we were going to move anyway, but we've had to speed it up, Stuart, and swing into action a lot sooner than we expected.
How have you managed to pull all this off then? New premises, all of the pods. You mentioned the LMA helping out with the TVs. How have you done it?
Don't really know, to be honest with you, but a lot of help from everyone. And when you're dealing with homeless people, you need as much help as you can get. We get great support from various organisations. Nando's deliver to us every night. Sainsbury's, Rice Pies, Greg's the Bakers. So there's always that support there, Stuart. And without that support, we wouldn't be where we are. We started with 14 people in here, and we've moved up to 48. We've outgrown the building we're in, which is a council building. And with help from the council as well, we've now moved on to, and you'll come down one day and shoot and see it. It is the size of a football pitch, massive warehouse, and it gives us a chance also to bring other people in, because no doubt whatsoever that after this virus clears up, and hopefully it's quickly, that there's going to be lots of people out of work. There's going to be lots of people needing help for various reasons. And there'll be probably more homeless people than there's ever been.
I'm going to open this up to the lads, as I can tell that they're all in awe of what you're doing, really, because it's quite remarkable. Maisie?
Lou, I was just going to say, do you know how you've moved now into a new warehouse? Is that owned by the council as well?
No, we've rented it, Maisie. So council have helped us get in there. The council have helped us with various things. They've got a company down here called Unitas that works for the council with electricians and plumbers and everything. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't be as far advanced as we are at this moment in time. So with their help and the council's help, we are probably maybe a couple of weeks away from moving all 48 of us into the warehouse. And
is there obviously more people coming in from other areas, or is there shower facilities and stuff like that?
No, there's shower facilities. There's all the facilities you would need to live your daily life. That's all there. Giant television, TVs in the pods themselves, but we've got a giant television there for them. We've got a kitchen, we've got a washroom as well, massive washroom for 3 or 4 washers. Really everything you need, and plus the food, Maisie, which is massive for them. I know you like Nando's, don't you? Oh, come on. You're always telling me you like Nando's.
I like it. Not bad, yeah. I do. I'll be down shortly.
All right. Overnight stay, will it be, or just for the food?
All right, I'll come down for the weekend with the boys and girls.
Right.
Absolutely.
Go on,
and
then,
an okay bunch we've got, which is a big help, sure. They're a good bunch who need help, and anybody's help, whether it's mine or whether it's the council, or whether it's the people providing food, or whether it's Maisie coming down and brightening up their weekend. All that is a massive help. So it's okay at the moment.
Luke, sorry, is there another way of getting the people actually in the homes back out getting work and stuff?
That is the big challenge, Dave. As you can imagine, they spent all their life on the streets, and to go from that to a job that they can hold down, especially now where people are losing their jobs every week. There's going to be there is redundancies. There's going to be companies going bust, and unfortunately, that's all still to come. People with very little money at this moment in time.
While they're in there, do they have roles and responsibilities? So do they have jobs that they need to do, like to keep the upkeep of the place?
Without a doubt, Dan, we instill that in them that they've got to look after their own little area in the place we're in. They'll have to do the same when they go into their own pod. The pod will have a number on it. It'll probably be the first. Well, it will be the first time, I'm sure, in their lives they've had an address. Whether it's pod 2, whether it's pod 4, whether it's pod 5, they'll have an address. They'll have an identity, because they cannot go to the bank, believe it or not, and get a bank card, get a bank account, because they don't hold down an address. And as we're probably all aware, that the banks are more tough to deal with nowadays than probably they've ever been. So they'll be able to go and open a bank account, get a bank card like we all do, and use whatever money they've got in the bank that way. But they'll be given responsibilities, and some love it, others are not so keen, but the ones that love it are really, really helpful.
Yeah. Ben, Wes, do you want to?
Hi, Ben.
I know it's obviously unprecedented times at the moment, but how much involvement under normal circumstances do you have on a daily basis?
Too much, Ben, to be honest with you, because it's a tough job, and you're dealing with, first of all, you've got to get to know the people, and their background helps as well. Once you know that, whether they're coming from a drug background, a drink background, or whatever else it may be, maybe just trouble at home, family problems. So that's the first thing you've got to do, and you've got to get to know them. They're now calling me Mr. Pod and names like that, because we brought these pods in, and I'm the Podalod man. I'm getting all sorts of abuse from them, but it's all light-hearted, and I'm here too often, Ben. I'm here, wouldn't say from first thing in the morning, but I feel I need to come up, and most of the time. Their highlight of the week, by the way, is when I come back from Old Trafford after a match, and I bring them some pies. You know the pies, Maisie, from the treble, and I bring a couple of pies. They love the pies. Have you got the Man United pies? It's all they like about Man United, because most of them are Stoke supporters.
Okay.
Pies, they like the programmes that I bring back sometimes. Read through the programmes, because they're not up to scratch with Manchester United, but they all watched the cup final at the weekend on the telly against Arsenal, and got quite excited, even though it was Manchester United and Arsenal, and loved every moment of it. We've got a good bunch in at the moment.
Wes?
Yes, Lou, brilliant what you're doing, Lou. Do you know, like they're all there, there's 48 of them. How have they been getting on? How have they handled the virus of obviously staying in and I don't know, the large group together at one time? How's it been?
Well, that's been difficult, Wes. Obviously, as soon as they want to go out, I've done it myself. I go out the house sometimes and I forget when I'm walking, with my wife, or I forget the rules. So they do forget the rules. I've got to remind them quickly what those rules are. Going out, it used to be an hour a day for exercise. That was tough for them. They're active, these people. They like to be in, they like to be out, but I think we've managed to control that reasonably well. But it's all a challenge. Every day in here is a challenge for not just so much myself, but certainly the staff we've got here. It's a massive challenge for them.
Lou, is there anything in that the lads can donate, or not the lads, but well, the lads anyway, but anyone can donate to it, or is there a giving page, or is there an account that people can put money in, or anything like that?
Don't really need money, Dave. What you could do if you'd like to do it, because Johnny Evans and Helen have done it, and Johnny donated a lot of trainers, tracksuits, and the place went crazy. It got out of control, actually. Everybody trying to grab Johnny Evans's top from this game, or his trainers from wherever. So, Wes, you've got plenty of trainers and that to donate, haven't you?
I was going to say, T-shirts and trainers, Lou. That's no problem.
Brilliant.
Hats. Some hats as well.
Oh, hats. They love hats. They love hats as well. And if I tell them that the 5 lads there have donated whatever it is, the place will go mad.
It's raining today, Lou, so I could do that today for you.
I suppose I might as well ask you a couple of football questions while you're here, Lou, just in case we ever see any football again. What are you missing it? Are you missing the game?
And we will see it again, sure, because I think this weekend, Germany's going to be the key to it all. If it all goes off smoothly in Germany, there's no way, whether it's footballers not wanting it to start again, whether it's clubs who are in trouble down at the bottom of the Premier League, sooner have it brought to a halt for obvious reasons, because they don't want to get relegated. All those self-interest from various clubs, that'll all go out the window. If Germany kicks off on Saturday, I'm not sure when they kick off on Saturday, but when they kick off on Saturday, if everything goes smoothly, there is no excuse for our league not to follow. I'm sure half of our league representatives will be over in Germany at the weekend, looking to see how it does swing into operation. And if it does and goes well, then I think we'll be in action quite soon after it. I really do believe that. Obviously, if it's a disaster in any way, that'll be brought to a quick end, I would think.
You agree with that, guys, that this weekend could be absolutely pivotal for how it's going to work out here in our country?
Yeah, I think Ben touched on it before as well. It's everybody's watching closely at what happens in Germany, and I think the Germans are generally known to be quite efficient people. So if they get it right, then it's not a bad blueprint to follow.
Yeah, I agree with Dan and what Ben said and what Lou said there. I mean, I might not just be this week; it'd be the next 2 or 3 weeks. Get a picture of how things work. If we're going to start, say, back 1st of June, 10th of June, then you've got 3 or 4 weeks to get the infrastructure right and follow suit.
Yeah.
It will also, if there are no repercussions, it will also justify the decision to eradicate the neutral ground situation, because they're all playing on their own grounds as they would under normal circumstances, just with no fans. So that's something else that they'll be able to overlook too.
Same, Stu. The world's watching, and every sport will be watching as well, not just football. So, if it goes well, all good. But I'm sure there'll be some hiccups along the way. But I'm guessing they will let everyone know, and then people, other countries can decide for themselves what they want to do to try and sort that out. But fingers crossed, it all happens and runs smoothly.
One of the questions might be, Stu, that if 2 or 3 teams, contract the coronavirus, how it works from there. Do they carry on, or do they say, right, that's it, we're going to stop?
Sure, I've just had one of our lads knock at the door saying he wanted counsellor, gardeners, trainers. So there you go.
Size 14, then, Lou.
Yeah.
2 more.
Lou, it's great to see you, mate. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Look after yourself, mate, won't you?
Okay.
Look after yourself.
Lou.
Yeah, Lou.
See you later, Lou.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant to speak to Lou. What an inspiration. Dear me. makes you feel you should do more, doesn't it, in your life? But there you go. Get in touch, mutv@manunited.co.uk if you want to chat to us. We'll have another guest on tomorrow, and these chaps will be back as well for Wednesday's group chat. See you then. Bye for now, everyone. See you guys.
See you later, everyone.
Yeah, James.
Did you let me out?